Shalom, shalom, shalom. Brother Jose, Fisherman for Zion, coming back at you again with another video through the spirit of Yahweh Shah. Call Yahweh by Shema Mashakah Shah. Call Yahweh by Shema Mashakah Shah. Call Yahweh by Shema Shah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises, glory, honor to Yahweh, who the word uses the title God, in the name of his son, who the word eagerly called Jesus the Christ, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Come before you through the spirit of Yahweh Shah. Don't count this as a light thing to do. Giving all glory and honor to the Most High, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to the best of my ability. All glory and honor to the Most High for another day in the land of living, another day in his truth, knowing our nationality, our heritage, laws, statutes, and commandments that he bestowed and blessed us and gave us in these last days. Don't deserve it, but all glory and honor to the Most High. Grateful for another day to repent, another day to strive, make our call and election sure. Nevertheless, Lord willing, this will be edifying to you. Peace and blessings to all council and congregations scattered across the four corners of the earth in Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Keeping these laws, statutes, commandments to the best of their ability, going on the highways and byways, week by week, Sabbath by Sabbath, doing all they can in these last days to spread forth this good news, this gospel, and wake up the hope for the elect. You know, peace and blessings to the elders, you know, scattered across the four corners of the earth as well, that's been in this truth way before me, longer than me, and the brothers that I labor with, and Fisherman for Zion, you know, as well as for the sisters and the children as well. Peace and blessings to those that are not on the highways and byways, but they looking at these videos, you know, tuning in, studying, and finding out more and more about their heritage, laws, statutes, commandments in these last days. Present their bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, which is our reasonable service. Peace and blessings. Stay in the faith, continue to endure, forsake the flesh and the cares of this world to the best of your ability. Lord willing, this will be edifying, you know, through the spirit of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. I believe I titled this the beginning of sorrows. You know, these last days is nothing to play with, you know. And, you know, we say it a lot in Fisherman of Zion, the Most High ain't nothing to play with. You know, we strive, you know, for this truth until our time is up, till we give up the ghost, to the second coming of Mashiach Yahweh Shah, to the best of our ability, you know. And doing these videos, you know, we always, you know, say that, and we always have to keep that in mind, you know. Hey, these last days ain't nothing to play with. The Most High ain't nothing to play with, you know. So, you know, you got rumors of wars. You actually have war, you know, in Israel. You have things kicking off. You know, you seeing things. You may have been in the truth for a little bit, you know, a little bit of time, so-called time, or you may just be finding out, or you may just came into the truth. You know, you hearing things pop off. You know, you starting to see some things kind of conspire, kind of boil up. You know, may, you know, simmer back down. But regardless of what it is, hey, these last days ain't nothing to play with. We got to make sure we stand in the faith. We got to make sure we examine ourselves. We got to make sure we stand 10 toes down for Yahweh Shah Shah. These laws, statutes, and commandments, forsaking the flesh and the cares of this world. But not trying to be before you too long, but I'm not trying to quench the spirit. We're going to dive straight into Matthew 24. You know, so this is the book of Matthew chapter 24. And I'm gonna start at verse 6, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6, and it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So, hey, you know, all of these things got to come to pass, but the end is not yet. You know, so, hey, don't get faint-hearted. Don't get weary. Don't get, you know, feeble-needed, you know, and feel like, you know, it's taking too long, man. You know, because, hey, we on the Most High time. You know, we can't just act like, you know, things is according to how we feel like it is. You know, I came into the truth, I'm repenting, you know, so things got to kick off right now. You know, the Lord got to do his thing. You know, I'm in his thing. So, no, we can't have that mindset. You know, the Lord said, you know, your redemption draw nigh. You know, let me get that in Luke right quick. So you always got to have it on your mind. Like, your redemption is going to come if you endure, if you hold on. This is Luke chapter 21. And I'm going to start at verse 26. Luke chapter 21 This whole thing is mighty. I'm going to start at verse 25, Luke 21:25, and it reads, "And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and with great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh." So, your redemption is drawing closer and closer day by day. All of these prophecies are coming to pass. The Lord said, "Nation shall rise against nation. Love shall be waxed cold. Men shall be lovers of themselves. Men shall be selfish. And then, next thing you know, this fifth seal coming in, sixth seal coming in, as you read about in Revelation. So we got to keep in mind, we always got to have on our mind that it doesn't matter how long it feel like it's taking. You don't want to be the one. You don't want to take days off. You don't want to take things away from the spiritual aspect of building yourself up, keeping yourself in check, making sure you're reading, making sure you're praying, making sure you're fasting, making sure you're getting your house in order, making sure, you're always trying to abound more and more and increase more and more, giving alms, charity, showing love, forgiving those that did wrong to you, being merciful, so the Most High can be merciful to us. So our redemption is drawing closer and closer day by day. And if you just taking days off and you just being lukewarm, you kind of just trying to sin here and then thinking the Lord can forgive you, trying to sin here, and you trying to put things in your mind as you got days to kind of do what you got to do and kind of just come back to the Lord when you want to. You don't want to have that mindset. These last days ain't nothing to play with. Either you want to stay ready for the Lord and make sure you're blameless, making sure your garments is white, or you're gonna get caught up. You're gonna get caught out there. So let me read this one more time. Luke 21:28, "And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh." So you hear things coming to pass. You see things coming to pass. You see things already happen. You hear about things that may already be happening. You may hear about, Israel and the Hamas, war, and Gaza, all of the things that's going on over there in Israel right now. You may hear about that. You may see some things about that, man. But you gotta understand that these are prophecies coming to pass, man. So Matthew chapter 24, and going back at verse 6 again, Matthew 24 and verse 6, and it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places." So you see, nation going against nation. It's not yet so much of the nations coming against the Israelites. It's like the so-called Black, Spanish, and Native Americans. You see other nations going against other nations. The heathen going against the heathen. The so-called white man, his rulership going against, the so-called white man. So, these are things that got to come to pass that the Lord told us about, according to the prophecies that, the Lord told us to watch and be aware of, and making sure, we're not just putting our heads under the cover, or we kind of just, turning our backs and, just seeing what was going on back, as we used to do back in the world, man, trying to figure out, who with our ex-girl, or if a woman trying to figure out who with their ex, husband or man, whoever they was with in the world, trying to figure out, what you could have done if you stayed in college, or, you know, what a degree could have done for you, or what business, you know, opportunities you could have had, kind of aspired to have or to do, your dreams and things like that, you know. So we got to keep our mind on really, you know, what's coming to pass. You know, our salvation is more important, you know, than what was going on in the past, you know, or what the world may try to have us think, you know, that we missing out on, man. You know, we're not missing out on nothing. You know, this kingdom is coming, you know, whether we ready or not, whether we keep the faith or not, whether we keep the law, statutes, commandments or not. The kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is coming, you know. So you got to ask yourself, are you putting in to inherit that, or you just taking away and trying to inherit America right now and trying to thrive with America? So we have to keep in mind that, you know, our redemption is getting closer and closer, you know, for those that want to be, you know, in righteousness and blameless and have their garments spotless, you know. So reading this again, Matthew 24 and verse 7. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. And it reads, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences. So hey, you may start realizing that it's a lot of food that ain't in these stores like they used to be, you know. And these are the beginning of sorrows. You may realize that, you know, every time you go to the grocery store and try to get certain vegetables, certain fruits, certain dairy products, you know, hey, there ain't never no eggs in there, man. You know, but years ago, it used to go in the store, man. It used to be eggs falling off the shelves, man. You know, could barely close the you know, the freezer, the little door. You know, could barely, you know, figure out, hey, you know, is this good, or has it just been sitting here for so long? Cause they keep restocking the shelves. They're not doing it no more, man. We approaching famines, you know, and it also said pestilence. You know, you may always hear about some type of new disease being sprouted up, you know, something they done discovered in, you know, China, or some, you know, disease that, you know, they feel like it's going to cause a shutdown, man, or a lockdown, another pandemic 2.0, you know. So, hey, these famines and these pestilence, you know, are the beginning of sorrows, and earthquakes in diverse places. You know, you always see an earthquake, you know, somewhere over in the Philippines, or a tsunami, or, you know, something always going on. These are the beginning of sorrows, you know. Matthew 24 and verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. See that? So, hey, these sorrows are coming, and a lot of them, you know, they're more so, it seems like it's not a lot, but it's gonna, you know, rapidly continue to be on the rise. So you got to make sure that you stand ready, and you ain't out there about to get caught up, man. You know, because when you got your mind on something, you know, some folly and some madness, Satan will try to have you so deep into it that it's hard to get out of it, man. You know, and you don't want to have that spirit. You got to make sure you don't have that spirit. You got to check that spirit, and you always got to have that mindset of, I got to make sure that I'm standing 10 toes down for the Most High, you know, and Satan can't just, you know, overthrow me, you know. So let's go to second Esdras through the spirit. You know, so these are the beginning of sorrows. Let's go to second Esdras chapter 16 through the spirit of Yahweh Shah. You know, gotta make sure we are aware of these prophecies that are coming to pass, because we can't just always stay in you know, we can't always just read, you know, read what's something, you know, we can't just read, you know, Jesus, you know, can't always just have that mindset. Jesus loved the little children, man, like the Christian church, you know, kind of put out there, you know, kind of just reading, you know, your Bible verse for the day, and you just clocking out. Nah, man, we got to give it a little bit more. You know, these last days ain't nothing to play with, man. You know, you kind of just reading, you know, one chapter in Psalms, and then you just clocking out, you know. No, we gotta give it a little bit more. We gotta go up a notch, man. You know, we gotta go up a notch. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and I'm gonna start at verse 37. So like I'm gonna start at verse 36. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 36, and it reads, "Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake." Verse 37, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack." So hey, they didn't just hold back when the Most High was putting the plagues on Egypt, man. You know, when it was time to get the children of Israel, the Israelites, out of Egypt, the Most High, he laid it down, man. He didn't hold back. You know, so what you think he gonna do to America? You know, so let me get this right quick in Exodus chapter 5. So what you think the Most High gonna do to America? These sorrows, man, you know, the beginning of them, you know, that should be something you want to see. The beginning of them and the ending of them. This is Exodus chapter 5. Exodus chapter 5, and I'm starting at verse 1, and it reads, "And afterward, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, God power of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, Who is the Lord Yahweh, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord Yahweh, neither will I let Israel go. And they said, The God power of the Hebrews had met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days journey into the desert and sacrifice unto the Lord our God power, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword." You see that? So, you know, this thing it was serious, man. You know, Pharaoh thought this was a game, even though we understand that the Most High hardened his heart, you know, just to show his mighty works and his wonders and his signs and his hand and how he gets down, man. You know, which Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob didn't see. You know, they didn't see, Yahweh Bashim Abshah get down like that. You know, like the Israelites saw, like Moses, Aaron, and Miriam saw. You know, so it was on a higher scale, man. You know, but we gotta always keep in mind that the same way the Most High got up with Pharaoh, it is the same way the Most High gonna get up with these other nations, man. You know, and we seeing how things is playing out right now. You know, so we always got to keep in mind that, we gonna get dealt with too. You know, we gonna get a lot of judgments too, like it says in let me see if I can remember this precept. I believe it's 1 Peter. Judgment must begin at the house. Judgment must begin at the house of God power first. Let me see if I can find this. This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17, and it reads, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God power, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God power?" You see that? So that should be caution, a caution sign right there. That should be a warning light. You know, stay ready, man. These last days, it can be any day for me. It could be any day for you. You know, we don't know. I don't know when the Lord gonna pull up on me, but whenever he do, I want to be ready to the best of my ability. Repenting daily, you know, forsaking the flesh, making sure I always at least have something righteous on my mind, making sure I always praying as much as I can, reading as much as I can, fasting as much as I can, making sure I got my wife in order, making sure I got my children in order, making sure, you know, I'm staying ready to the best of my ability, you know, because, I don't know when the Lord gonna pull up on me, you know, and you got to have that same mindset too, because these last days ain't nothing to play with, you know, and we are in the beginning of the sorrows, man, you know, and it's coming faster and faster, you know, every time you turn your head, something going on, something going off, something popping off. You know, so it ain't time to be playing around, man. It ain't time to be kikiing and joking. You know, you got to make sure you You get your spirit right. Got to make sure you get your faith in a better position, because you can't always say where I got my faith where I want it in, because you're gonna approach times and you're gonna approach situations that you never been in. You kind of fumbling and you kind of getting weary when you ain't got enough money to pay your rent. You get mad and upset and get vexed when if you got a woman, if you're a man, you got a woman and your woman kind of say something, or a woman, her man don't do certain things or her husband don't do certain things. You kind of get out of that spirit, with brothers and sisters, man. You can barely hold on, to the problems in the congregation that you got, or if you by yourself, you barely can make it by yourself, man. You going off every day, freaking off, thinking about lewd things, So just imagine these days that's coming, man. These sorrows and pains that's coming, You gotta, check your spirit, and you gotta ask yourself, is my faith where, it should be at when the Lord get ready to pull up on me? When I had to lose a lot, when I had to lose my wife or my kids, or, if a woman had to lose her husband and her kids, you got to be out there, you got to be destitute, you got to be in the wilderness or in a FEMA camp, or if you got to get put to death for this truth, be a witness, So you got to ask yourself these things, man, So let's go back to 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 38. So like 2nd Esdras chapter 16 verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains. So like within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So, just imagine a woman, she about to bring forth a child, Just imagine how much pain she in. If you a man and you kind of married and your woman, y'all had a child, you see all the pain she was in. Just imagine, how that's gonna be when all of these, birth pains come to the earth, man. And Jeremiah spoke about that, man. Let's get that in Jeremiah chapter 6. And they non-stop, back to back, It's gonna seem like you can't catch a break, man. All hell breaking loose. You turn to the left, you turn to the right, kind of do a 360, man. All hell breaking loose, man. Just imagine if you was in Israel right now when all hell breaking loose, Matter of fact, not even just that. Just imagine the same amount of hell that's breaking loose in Israel. Just imagine if it was right in your city, People getting burnt in their cars, women getting kidnapped, raped, children getting snatched, people getting shot, dead in broad daylight, like the what's that movie called? The Purge, man. Like the Purge. Literally like the Purge out there. All hell just breaking loose, man. So how would it be if it pulled up at the doorstep, at your doorstep, at my doorstep? Are we giving the Most High enough, or as much as we should? Should we, a little bit more? Is that going to hurt us? Is it going to hurt us to, stop worried about things in the world and worry about more of this gospel, this truth? Yahweh Shem Abishai. So this is Jeremiah chapter 6. And I'm gonna start at verse 24. Jeremiah chapter 6, starting at verse 24, and it reads, "We have heard the fame thereof, our hands wax feeble, anguish had taken hold of me, and pain as of a woman in travail." You see that? So, if you feel like, if you think you're in pain now, spiritually and physically, it's more to come, man. It's a whole lot more to come. Because the Most High said, "He that endure to the end shall be saved." it's a lot more to endure. You know, family may come up against you. You know, speak lies on you, tell lies about you. You know, speak bad about you. You know, your woman might trying to trade on you. You know, turn her back on you. If you're a woman, your husband might turn his back on you. You know, you may feel like somebody in your congregation did some evil, wickedness. You know, your main partner, your main brother that you labor with, man. You know, so a lot of these things is gonna start, you know, brewing up on a higher scale. So we can't be playing around out here, man. We literally cannot be playing around. You know, yeah, you know, you can, you know what I'm saying, be joyful and glad, you know, because that is something that we're supposed to do. Now we can't just be walking around in this truth, kind of not in the spirit of glad. You literally should be glad that you have Yahweh Shah to repent, to make a reconciliation back to Yahweh. You know, as Yahweh Shah being your sacrifice, you should be glad that, you know, you don't have to get put to death for falling short if you committed a transgression. You know, if you transgressed the law, you know, if you had some iniquities, you know, you should be glad that, you know, you have something to look forward to, an advocate, a lawyer in Yahweh Shah. You know, just imagine you about to go to trial and you ain't got no lawyer. You got to represent yourself. You know, you're going to be, you're going to be thinking about a lot, man. You know, you're going to be stressed out, you know. But, we got Yahweh Shah, so we should be glad, you know. So, let me finish this right quick, and then we're going to get some more precepts on that. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 39. 2nd Esdras 16 and 39, and it reads, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So, a lot of people gonna be mourning, man. All other nations gonna be mourning, you know. And even when these nations come against us, we gonna be mourning, man. You know, cause it ain't like we'll be smiling and laughing, you know, when we getting judged, when we getting jammed up, when our faith is being tested. You know, we gonna be in a state of mourning, you know. And sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make ye ready to the battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So, you know, Ezra just told us to make ready the battle. Make ye ready the battle, you know. How are you making ready? How are you getting ready to battle if you're not in the spirit? You know, you beating on your woman, you know, causing strife in your house. You know, you're not disciplining your children. You just let your children do whatever they want to do. You're not teaching them the law, statutes, commandments. You're not getting them in the spirit. You know, you don't teach your wife. You're not reading. You're not praying. You're not trying to fast. You're not trying to study. Go over your precepts. You know, you're just going through with emotions, man. You know, just going to work, getting off work, coming home, watching TV, just kicking your feet up, and that's it, man. Everyday motion. You may go to camp once a week, you know, just so brother won't say nothing to you, you know. But hey, man, you got to get ready for this battle, man. You know, you just gonna lay down and let Satan just, you know, triumph over you. You know, hey, you got to ask yourself, hey, what is it going to take, you know, to get to the kingdom, man? What can I give to get to the kingdom? You know, you got to ask yourself that, because you ain't just going to approach a battle and just go in there and not have trained, not have prepared yourself. Or else, hey, as soon as you step foot on the battleground, you're getting wiped out, clean, quick, on sight. You know. So, hey, you gotta get ready, man. You gotta get ready. You can't be playing around in these last days, man. You know, you cannot be playing around. Hey, when you got these soldiers preparing for war, You know, they getting their stuff right, man. You know, they getting up for PT, you know, doing drills. You know, they got their boots shine, they got their armor, they got their ammo, you know, bulletproof vests. You know, they may do world tours overseas. They may go do a tour for a year or two, you know, and come back, you know, a couple of days, you know, a little vacation, so-called vacation or whatever. Hey, how much more in the spirit, man? You know, hey, when you first came into the truth, you know, you was looking for something to pop off. You was ready for something to pop off. And now all hell breaking loose, you know, hey, you ducking and diving, man. You know, worried about, you know, what your woman doing. You got your woman now, so, you know, you kind of ain't worried about nothing no more, you know. Or a woman, you know, she kind of got a man to pay her bills, and she ain't worried about nothing no more, you know. No, man, these last days ain't nothing to take lightly, man. The Most High, Yahweh Shemel Shah, ain't the one to play with, man. He gonna pull up on you, and he gonna get you, and he gonna try you, and he gonna, pull your car. And if you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, lights out, man. That's what I always do, you know, lights out, you know. So you can't be playing around out here, man. You know, when the coach puts you in the game, you know, you got an opportunity to show if you been staying ready or if you were just taking plays off at practice, man. You know. So let me read this one more time. 2 Ezra 16 and verse 40. 2 Ezra 16 and 40. O my people, hear my word. Make ye ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So let me get this right quick in Psalms. Because we are in our pilgrimage, man, and it's gonna be on a more higher scale sooner or later. You know, let me get this in Psalms right quick. This is Psalms chapter 119, and I'm gonna start at verse 54. Psalms chapter 119, starting at verse 54, and it reads, Thy statutes have been my songs in the house of my pilgrimage. You see that? So, King David, man, you know, said in his pilgrimage, the Most High songs, it's like it, the Most High statues shall be his songs, you know. So, what are you going to be meditating on, you know, when all hell breaks loose, like really wreaks a havoc, you know? What are you going to be thinking about, man? What is going to comfort you in those days, man? You know? Is it Jesus loved the little children of the world? You know, now lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. You know, as they used to say back in the world, you know. You know, come as you are. The Lord loves everybody, you know. I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. Is that what you're going to say when all hell breaks loose? When these pains, these birth pains pick up, when these sorrows really pick up, man? Is that what you're going to say? You got to ask yourself these things, man. You know? Because some people, man, this truth is boring to them, man. It's like a chore. Man, I got to read, man. Man, I don't feel like reading, man. Oh, man, I got to fast. Oh, my gosh. Man, I don't want to fast. Man, I got to take off work for these feast days. Oh, man. Man, I don't feel like going to camp, man. Hey, man, listen, man. Come on now. What are we doing? You know, get it together. It's really about to get real out here, man. You know. So, you want to hear it now? Or you wish you would have heard it, you know, a little bit more? You wish you would have heard it and took it serious, you know? Because if you really, truly, sincerely love the Lord, care about your people, you know, trying to seal the elect, trying to get the kingdom, trying to be righteous as you possibly can, man, you're going to forsake the flesh, man. You're going to say, the hell with the world. You know, hey, let me get right, man. Because, hey, it's really about to get real out here. You know, so let me get another. Let's go to 1 Peter. 1 Peter chapter 2. 1 Peter chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 11. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 11. And it reads, Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims. So, hey, Peter, hey, he said he beseech us as strangers and pilgrims, man. Meaning, hey, we ain't supposed to be over here, man. Hey, this ain't our home place. You know, all of this wicked folly and madness that is around us. Hey, this is, you know, this is vexation of the spirit, man. This is wicked, man. Babylon, the great so-called America, is wicked. You know, we should be ready to get away from here, man. We should be praying day and night that the Lord come deliver us, man, and deliver the hopeful elect. Burn this place down. Get up with these heathen, man. You know, reading this again, 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. You know, so you got lust all around you, man. You know, that you got to, ask the Most High to strengthen you. And you got to strive to have your spirit strengthened. You know, you got other people that just freely lust at the things, you know, smoke weed, you know, talk about how they what they did with this woman, and a woman saying, you know, what she would do to this man. You know, you got wickedness all around you, man. You know, so you got to fight to stay in the spirit, man. Literally fight to stay in the spirit. You know, you got women coming out the house with no clothes on. You got men, they kind of coming out the house with nothing on as well, man. You know, we got to tell the women, you know, kind of, you know, make sure you turn your head as well. You know, so we gotta be on the foundation of wanting the Most High to get up with this place, man. You know, let me get this in Hebrews right quick. Hebrews chapter 11. This is Hebrews chapter 11, and let me see what I want. Hebrews chapter 11, and let me see, Shalakia. Hebrews chapter 11. I'm going to start at verse 13. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 13, and it reads, These all died in faith, not having received the promises. And, you know, Moses died in faith. Abraham died in faith. You know, Noah. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 13. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. You know, so we confessing that I'm ready to get up out of America, man. You know, we confessing that I don't want to get jammed up with this place when the Most High jammed this place up. We confessing that we ready to be with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. We confessing that we want to reign and we want to be right there with Yahushua, you know, under his government, man. You know, 144,000 or 1/3, you know. So we confessing and we holding on to our faith, man. You know, whenever it's our time, we trying to have that faith, you know, sealed, man. Believing and hoping, trusting, keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, being blameless to the best of our ability, you know. So let me get another quick precept right quick. This is let me see. I might not pull this. This is Isaiah chapter 40, and I'm gonna start at verse 10. Isaiah chapter 40, starting at verse 10, and it reads, Behold, The Lord God power will come with strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. So, hey, the Lord is coming back with his reward, man. Those who really want, who really have a hunger for righteousness, man. You know, those who want to be, you know, in rulership with the Lord, man. Those who want to be, you know, in a place where they ain't gotta stress no more, man. You know, or else they in America, so-called America, trying to escape stress, man. You know, trying to say, I'll come back to the Lord later. I'm gonna do what I gotta do now. Hey, no, man, we not being in that spirit. We not having that mindset. You know, so like it, but serving the Lord with gladness, man. Let me get that in Psalms right quick. You know, a lot of people don't want to serve the Lord with gladness. And in fact, I'm gonna get that in Deuteronomy. Let me get this in Deuteronomy right quick. Deuteronomy 28. Hey, we literally went into slavery because we didn't serve the Lord with gladness. Literally, you know. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28. And I'm going to start at verse 47. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 47. And it reads, because thou servest not the Lord thy God power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. See that? Because we didn't serve the Lord with joyfulness and gladness of our mind. You know, hey, you be so quick to be glad to, you know, to go to the mall, man. You know, to kind of hit up that woman, you know, or a woman, you know, trying to get in touch with a certain man. You know, that makes you glad. You know, or when you turn on the TV and watch a game or something. Hey, why you can't be in gladness with reading? Why you can't be in gladness with praying? Why you can't be in gladness with knowing that if you strive and endure to the best of your ability, the Lord can redeem you, man. You know. Let me get this right quick in Psalms. This is Psalms chapter 100. Psalms chapter 100. And I'm gonna start at verse. So yeah, man, you gotta be glad to serve the Lord, man. You know, you was glad to go to the club. You know, you was glad to, you know, to kind of just freak off. This is Psalms chapter 100, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. Psalms 100, starting at verse 2. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with Salaki. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. You know. Hey, Jake, man, when he kind of met up with a girl, man, he was just singing, man. She may have him singing. You know. Hey, might have been singing some old some Usher and Alicia Keys. You'll always be my beau. Some madness like that, man. You know. Hey, why you can't? The Lord is marvelous. You know. When the last time you sung, man? And had the Lord on your mind? You know. When the last time have you sung and had Yahweh by Shem Yahushua on your mind? You know. Hey, you got to ask yourself that, man. You know. Are you singing until the second coming of Mashiach Yahushua? You know. Hey, there's many ways you can sing, man. You know, you don't necessarily have to be a great singer to sing too. You know, just because you can't sing, that don't mean you shouldn't sing. You know, your favorite song come on in righteousness. Hey, you know, kind of do your thing, man. So let me get another one right quick. This is Psalms 51. You know, you got to be joyful and glad. You know, hey, Yahushua didn't have to do what he did, man. You should be glad about that. You should be rejoicing, you know, joyful every day. that we have literally a sacrifice to help us get to the Father, man. This is Psalms chapter 51, and I'm going to start at verse 9. Hey, this is what King David said, man. Psalms 51 and verse 9. I'm going to start at verse 8. Psalms 51 and verse 8. Psalms 51 and verse 8, and it reads, make me to hear joy and gladness. So, hey, King David said, make me to hear joy and gladness. You know, because this society, this wicked world, man, Babylon the Great, they try to drain you, man. They try to have you depressed. They try to, you know, have you stressed out, anxiety, you know, got to work all type of hours, got to deal with all type of infirmities, got to deal with the flesh. Hey, man, you know, you got to pray that the Lord have you hear joy and gladness, you know. Literally, you literally got to pray for that. Psalms 51 and 8, and it reads, make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. You see that? Because, hey, it's a lot of things that's going to get broken in Babylon the Great, man. It's a lot of spiritual things that's going to get broken, and it's a lot of physical things that's going to get broken as well. Your back hurting, your feet hurting, your neck hurting, you know, all type of aches and pains. You may lose a loved one. You may get spiritually broken, you know. You may have to divorce your woman, man. You know, or a woman, may have got divorced. You know, so it's a lot of things that's gonna be broken. So you gotta ask the Lord, you know, to allow you to hear, you know, joy and gladness. You know, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. See that? So, hey, let me get Nehemiah right quick. You know, you gotta be joyous and you gotta be glad in this thing, man. Let me get Nehemiah. Let me see. Nehemiah chapter 8. And I'm gonna start at verse 10. Nehemiah chapter 8, starting at verse 10, and it reads, then he said unto them, go your way, eat the fat, and drink the sweet, and send portions unto them for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy unto our Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah. Neither be ye sorry. And this is the point that I want. For the joy of the Lord is your strength. Hey, and that's literally, you know, the point that I wanted. The joy of the Lord is your strength. You know. Hey, you got to be joyous, you know, that the Lord is fighting for you on your behalf, man. In the third heavens. You repent, you praying, you fasting, you doing all you supposed to be doing. You making your call and election sure. So, hey, the joy of the Lord is your strength, man. You know, you holding on. You know, let me get this right quick in Sirach chapter 2 through the Spirit. This is Sirach chapter 2. I'm gonna start at. Let's see where I want to start at. Sirach chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 12, and it reads, woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands and sinners that go two ways. You see that? So the Lord said, destruction to those that have weak hands, man, faint hands. You know, you got to hold on to the Lord, man. You got to hold on to the law, statutes, and commandments. You got to hold on to your faith. You got to hold on to your hope, you know, that you have in Yahweh Shema Shah, man. You got to hold on to these things, man. You can't let these things go. Hey, these last days ain't nothing to play with, man. You know, let me get this in Sirach chapter 41. This is Sirach chapter 41. I'm going to start at verse 8, and it reads, woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High God power. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. So the Lord said destruction to you that want to sin, that don't want to keep your mind on the Lord, that don't want to strive to keep these laws, statutes, commandments, that don't want to do what you got to do for the Most High. you know, and if you increase, it shall be for your destruction, you know. So, hey, you want to always have in mind that, hey, your redemption is getting closer and closer, and it ain't no time, no room for slacking and playing around, man. You know, I'm gonna get a couple more. I didn't want this to be too long through the spirit of Shah. Let's go to Sirach chapter 10. Hey, because the Lord is getting up with these other nations, man. You know, the Lord, hey, all hell is breaking loose, man. This is Sirach chapter 10. And I'm gonna start at and it's not just this, man. You know, it's way more to come than what's going on in Israel right now. It's way more to come than the war that's going on in Israel, you know, dealing with Hamas, you know, and the Palestinians, man. You know, this is Sirach chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 14. Sirach chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 14. And it reads, the Lord had cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. The Lord had plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. You know, so the Lord, hey, he can set up who he want. He can put who he want in rulership. Let me get this in 1 Samuel right quick. He can put who he want in rulership just to bring their ass down, man. This is 1 Samuel chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 8. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 8, and it reads, he raised up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, are Yahweh's, and he has set the world upon them. You see that? You know, let me get another right quick in Job. This is Job chapter 20. Job chapter 20 and verse 5. Job chapter 20 and verse 5. And it reads, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. You see that? So, hey, the Lord said, hey, they increasing. It's only for a moment. You know, he putting them in places where he gonna bring them down. He putting them in slippery places. You know. Let me get another right quick in Psalm 73. This is the book of Psalms chapter 73, and I'm gonna start at verse 18. Psalm chapter 73, starting at verse 18, and it reads, surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou casted them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors. You see that? Hey, so the other nations, man, hey, you know, the Most High got something for them, man. You know, it's just coming to pass, all of the prophecies and things that he got set in motion. So going back to Sirach chapter 10, and I'm going to start at verse 15. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 15, it reads, the Lord had plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. Verse 16, Sirach Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha chapter 16, so like in chapter 10 and verse 16. The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. You see that? Hey, so Exodus 5, chapter 5, what we just read, man. You know, the Lord overthrew Egypt. You know, overthrew Pharaoh and all his hosts, you know. Hey, the Lord is overthrowing Israel, man. You know, the Lord is going to overthrow a lot more of these heathen nations, man. The Lord is going to overthrow America, man. It's prophesied in the Bible, you know. And you gotta keep in mind that these are the beginning of sorrows, man. And it's brewing up more and more, you know. So let me get this right quick in Joshua chapter 10. It's the book of Joshua chapter 10. I'm gonna start at 1. Joshua chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. Now it came to pass when Adonized, so like for pronunciation, Adonized, king of Jerusalem, had heard how Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it. as he had done to Jericho and her king. So he had done to Ai and her king, and how the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them, that they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai. And all the men thereof were mighty. Wherefore Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, sent unto Hoham, king of Hebron, and unto Parim, king of Jarmuth, and unto Japheth, king of Lachish, and to Debir, king of Eglon, saying, Come up unto me, and help me, that we may smite Gibeon, for it hath made peace with Joshua and with the children of Israel. Therefore the 5 kings of the Amorites, the king of Jerusalem, and the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, gathered themselves together and went up, they and all their hosts, and encamped before Gibeon, and made war against it. You know, so this is a mighty account that you could read on your own through the spirit of Yahweh on how the Most High got up with these kings, man. You know, so I'm gonna jump down to verse 20. Joshua chapter 10 and verse 20. And it came to pass, when Joshua and the children of Israel had made an end of slaying them with a very great slaughter, till they were consumed, that the rest which remained of them entered into fenced cities. And all the people returned to the camp to Joshua at Makkedah in peace. None moved his tongue against any of the children of Israel. Then said Joshua, Open the mouth of the cave, and bring out those 5 kings unto me out of the cave. And they did so, and brought forth those 5 kings unto him out of the cave, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. And it came to pass, when they brought out those kings unto Joshua, that Joshua called for all the men of Israel, and said unto the captains of the men of war which went with him, Come near, put your feet upon the necks of these kings. And they came near and put their feet upon the necks of them. You see that? Hey, so the Most High, hey, he's overthrowing heathen countries, and he's gonna do more of the overthrowing of heathen countries, and he's gonna overthrow America, man. You know, prophesied in the Bible, man. You know. So let me go back to this in Sirach chapter 10. Lord willing, we can get a couple more and close out. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 16 in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 16. It reads, The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen, and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. He took some of them away and destroyed them, and had made their memorial to cease from the earth. Let me get this in Psalms right quick. Psalms chapter 9. And you got a lot of more of these countries about to be seized too. Psalms chapter 9, I'm gonna start at verse 6. Psalms chapter 9, I'm gonna start at verse 6, and it reads, O thou enemy, destructions. It's like I'm gonna start at verse 5. Psalms chapter 9 and verse 5. Thou hast rebuked the heathen, thou hast destroyed the wicked, thou hast put out their name forever and ever. O thou enemy, destructions are come to a perpetual end, and thou hast destroyed cities, their memorial is perished with them. You see that? So the Most High, he gonna get up with a lot of these nations, man. You know. So let me get this right quick through the spirit of Yahweh Shah in 2 Peter. This is 2 Peter. The book of 2 Peter, chapter 3. And I'm gonna start at verse 9. 2 Peter chapter 3, starting at verse 9, and it reads, The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to us word, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. You know, so the Lord is literally about, you know, allowing those to have a chance, man. You know, but we understand this is predestined. 2/3 got to be put to death, and 1/3, you know, we get the we get delivered through the spirit of Yahweh Shah. as you may read about in Zechariah, you know, Zechariah the 13th chapter, man, start at verse 7 all the way down, you know. So the Lord, don't think that he putting off his promise, man. You know, it's coming to pass. Just best believe that. Just make sure you ready. Get yourself ready. And try your best through the Spirit of Yahweh to stay ready. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10, and it reads, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up." See that? Verse 11, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God's power, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." Hey, so World War III is coming, man. You know, and these are the beginning of sorrows, man. More things are going to be brewing up. Prophecies are coming to pass, you know. Hey, in these last days ain't nothing to play with. Let me get this last precept. So, Lord willing, this was edifying to you. You know, count this as a light thing to do through the Spirit of Yahweh. This is Psalms. So like this is Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 3. Isaiah 26 and 3, and it reads, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee." You know, so hey, you may feel like it's a lot to deal with. You may feel like it's a lot to go through in these last days. You may feel like this can be overwhelming. You may feel like, you know, this is tough. But hey, he that endures unto the end shall be saved, man. So hey, keep this on your mind. Keep the Most High on your mind. Isaiah 26 and 3. "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee." You see that? So continue to trust in the Most High regardless of what you're going through. And any and everything that you go through, trust in the Most High. Stay in the word. Continue to have this word on your mind, on your spirit, and to continue to abound more and more and increase more and more to the best of your ability through the Spirit of Yahweh. Brother Hosea, fisherman for Zion, call Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. You know, all glory and honor to the Most High Yahweh by Shema Yahushua. Call Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Lord willing, this is edifying to you. Continue to stay prayed up, reading, praying, fasting, doing all you can in these last days, forsaking the flesh and the cares of this world to the best of your ability. All glory and honor to the Most High, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the Alpha, the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the ending. Kwam Yahshua, Shalom.